Okay. So you can see, everybody, that we have a gender representative panel here. But hey, come on. Heck, what did we do the last panel? It was all ladies. Okay. Welcome, everybody. Very proud to make your acquaintance. Unathi, let me start with you. You are an inspirational under 30. So they tell me. Are you nervous about your 30s once you get there?
I don't know how it is to be a 30-year-old. I don't feel nervous. I don't know anything about being 30. I just have an elder brother who's above 30. That's all I know about being 30.
What I'm trying to get out of you is, as you approach a more serious stage of your life, when you need to start working a little harder, where your life starts to get shaped in that respect, what worries you? What are you anxious about, both personally, and let's be honest, there is a huge elephant in the room at the moment. South Africa is in a difficult space right now.
Yeah. So a couple of things that are actually probably worrying me for the next 5 years is where we're going as a country. Will there be opportunities for me to pursue everything that I'm passionate about? Are students going to get an opportunity to pursue their studies beyond the villages that they're coming from? Are we going to have an environment that is enabling for entrepreneurs, for example, to pursue their passion as well? So those are probably like few things that actually worry me as a person who's approaching 30, but I'm already feeling that pressure of working hard or achieving in my 20s already.
Why are you doing that? I don't know. It's like you're achieving. Let me give you a lesson in life, if I may. You are the co-founder of
Gradesmatch.
What you need to do whenever you participate in a panel like this, the first thing you've got to do, you've got to punt the business. Punt the business. What's the business?
So Gradesmatch is a research and innovation company, and we have a flagship program for high school learners that essentially links them to higher learning institutions. So let's just take a story as an example. Thabo is from the Eastern Cape. He wants to pursue a degree in electrical engineering at Wits University. Thabo might not know exactly what is required of him to study engineering at Wits. Through Gradesmatch, what Thabo can do is, one, update his marks, understand what exactly is required of me to get into that institution based on my current results, my current performance, and my personal aptitude. So Gradesmatch enables and connects high school learners to higher learning institutions, and furthermore, allowing them or giving them an opportunity to understand the funding landscape in order for them to fund their studies.
Okay, thank you very much indeed. Mr. Thabethe, welcome.
Welcome, Jeremy.
Good to see you. Could you explain to me what the sign is around your neck?
My sign is about no child deserves to go to school without shoes. Last day I took a journey to Durban with foot. I have my team here. We walked from Johannesburg to Durban, raising 3,000 school shoes.
Where's your team?
My team. Can they
Stand up, your team. Let's see. You all worked. You're a team member. Well done, guys. Okay, what did you do?
Our mission is to raise 3,000 school shoes and 500 sanitary pads. Because I know about this, as I'm not wearing shoes, there are kids who go to school walk 365 days without shoes. And secondly, there are kids that are making fun of them because they're of the abnormal school shoes. And there are kids who especially girls, get absentia during the time when they're supposed to study. They don't afford sanitary pads. So that is the drive that we're pushing right now.
Where did the motivation come from? What drove you to pursue this concept?
Can I just explain briefly about my foundation? 3 days before we walked to Durban, my mom passed away last year. It was a couple of days before my birthday. I wanted to do something for community on my birthday, just walking to Durban. So my mom passed away. Okay, I drank and then I got depressed. But and then after a couple of weeks, I put senses in myself and say, okay, my mom used to say, if it's a dream, go and make it. Like I even quitted my job, they set my diary concepts just to say, oh, now I want to serve the community as a young leader. Last year I won SA Upcoming Leader of the Year at the SA Awards. So which taught me, as a young leader, I have to put others firstly, which is the upcoming generation. So this thing motivated me. When I see kids going to school, I know how do they feel. Each and every time. Is why I want them to have proper school shoes, and no girls shall be absent during the time of menstruation. Is what I desire in my life, and is what I will fight for until each and every girl in school is having sanitary pads and normal school shoes.
See me after the event. I will pledge 500 Rand right now to your foundation.
Thank you, sir.
Hashtag South Africa, what's that about?
Hey, Jeremy.
Good to see you.
Hello, testing. So hashtags, well, firstly, I wish my high school principal was here today to see me. He would-
Now, you do know, everybody, that if this was Oprah, at this point, we would have brought in the principal. But we ran out of budget.
Yeah.
Okay.
Maybe next year. So hashtag South Africa is a company I started and founded back in 2011. I was actually in Bible school at the time, and I was sitting there instead of listening to a lecture, obviously, and thinking, how can we look at promoting South Africa rather than like a spray of can or food or washing powder? And then I just wrote down a hashtag, and then I wrote down South Africa, and then I just packed my bags, left, and started unpacking a strategy. 11th of November 2011, National Development Plan was written, and I found out, wow, the country's got a benchmark idea for the year 2030. Let me look and try to build myself around that. So I've been focusing around social media management, strategy consulting, and around digital. Right now, the world's perception of South Africa is just limited to what media, the guys like Jeremy does and the news. But it's up to us as South Africans to share the message. We're just 20 years into democracy, and we have so much to share with the world. And people like you see here on this panel and those that are exhibiting outside, everyone's trying to do something. And I believe with expressing that message on digital, we can leave a long-lasting legacy.
How difficult is it for you to stay motivated?
How difficult? I would say you've got to motivate yourself every day. There's days where you have great days, and there's days where things go really bad. But you keep remembering why you're out there, and what keeps me focused is my family. Realizing that I've got a family I've got to take care of. I've got a future family that I'm preparing to have at some point in my life. As well as when I look back, I would like to see more positive days than dark days.
One of our young students raised the issue about saying that I can't remember the exact words, she wasn't a party girl or stayed at home or didn't go out or whatever. Are you very focused that way, or have you found at this young age something of a balance?
Okay, so...
Or you look like a very serious individual. I mean, it's not a criticism, it's a good thing.
Sure. Well, when I was back in varsity and high school, partying was, I lived in Cape Town, so every day was a party day. So what I pretty much did is I just took a lateral same move of how I networked and met people in the clubs and parties into the business world.
Was that deliberate? Or did that lateral move? Did you say, I've got to start doing that?
It took time. You know, varsity was like 18 years old, and now I'm 30. It took years to move across. I always tried to go to different events. Events like this, I would gate crash and go through the back doors to enter just to get in to see what's going on. Now it's like I get invited for these things. So I think persistence. I've always been persistent to try to do things that I was told no to.
Okay. Sia, what is the Threaded Man all about?
So the Threaded Man is Africa's largest fashion and lifestyle portal that speaks to close to 1 million people every single month. The Threaded Man is also an agency that specializes in teaching brands within the fashion and lifestyle space how to communicate effectively to African millennials. But I'm 23 years old. I founded the Threaded Man 5 years ago when I was in matric. It's now valued at 10 million rands. And fundamentally, the aim of the company is that I got so tired of being in South Africa, opening magazines. All I see is white models. All I see is clothing priced at 40,000 rands. And I'm like, 98% of South Africans also love fashion and lifestyle. Who is talking to them, especially black South Africans? So the Threaded Man started off as a blog to make fashion accessible to Africans. And within that as well, it's to teach Africans that being African is the best thing in the world. You don't have to go to the West. You don't have to go to Europe. And we need to find a way of using our culture as a basis of forming it with our modern style. So yeah, that's the
How do
plan.
you start a business, for God's sake, in matric? I mean, how does that happen?
It happens because I've always been the kid, especially in high school and before that. No one looked at me twice, no one gave me the attention. I wasn't the cool kid, and I wasn't really talented. I wasn't the academic, I wasn't the sportsman, but I always knew that I could outwork everybody. And I've always been conscious because of my mother. My mother always taught me that don't be that sad African. Don't be that sad South African that sits and says, oh, there's poverty, oh, there's these issues. My mom's like, be about solutions. If you don't like something, if it's not there, build it. And find every way to make sure that you build it. So already in matric, I had that mentality. And so I was like, well, there's all these international magazines, but none of them are talking to black South Africans about style, so let me build my own.
It's an amazing story. Each one of you that have spoken already, you've all, to a greater or lesser extent, referred to family. It's important. Don't lose sight of that, folks. Older you get, the less important sometimes it would seem to become. That is not true. It's the rock. It's important that you hold on to that. What's your story? How did you get into this terrible business that you and I are both in?
Oh my gosh. All right, so I'm a voiceover artist, as you can probably tell.
No.
Yeah. You should have called me, where's that guy? But anyway, so I have a business as well. It's called WTG Media House. I'm the CEO of that business. I started this business primarily first to try and get into doing ads and things like that. So now we do ads for corporate clients and so on. But what it also does is it also trains young people and also older people really who want to get into voiceover artistry, presenting and things like that as well. Because there's a lot of young people who, because of things like TV, we had new dreams, but we had no place to exercise those dreams. And that becomes a really frustrating thing. And it was one for me as well, coming from a very small town. And the other part that brings me here is because I have a radio show on Cliff Central. It's called Unplugged and In Charge. And it's for the youth, especially people exactly like this. People who are unplugged from all the excuses that we can make about why we're not where we want to be in life. But they are in charge of making South Africa a better place, in charge of their futures as well, and in charge of really just being the change that they want to see around the world as well. Yeah.
I'm a big fan, by the way, of Cliff Central. Give Gareth my very
Thank
best.
you.
Okay.
Sure.
How did you recognize the talent internally to say, well, I'm going to be a voiceover artist? Was it an inherent self-confidence? Did someone point it out to you? How did you get there?
So I would always like to make the joke that coming from a township creche, when my mother would come to school, there was this one time where the teacher said, hey, you need to take your son to suburb schools. Hey. And my mom said, why? And when I got there, we're not taught the A, B, C, D. We were taught the A, E, I, O, U. That's all they teach you. And all the other kids were like, A, E, I, O, U. And I probably sounded like, A, E, O. But to be honest, it is always, there's always some sort of talent that one possesses, and there's a couple of people saying, hey, you should do that. But I came from a small town and I did not even know where to get platforms to do certain things. I'd fool around when we're walking into, let's say, fruit and veg or something, and I'd look at a billboard and say, try our bananas for R9.99. And my aunt would say, "Ulahlelo zingqondo," And obviously that meant, oh, you're going crazy, you're making a fool of us, And it was never easy, and the people around you sometimes do not see that dream for you. But one day when the opportunity met preparation, because that's the other important thing, that you have to be prepared for opportunities, because they'll come one day. Yeah.
You must have been the most annoying child. Guys, let's get the lights up. I want to, just again in the interest of time, everybody, it's 4:30. I'm going to run this about 10 minutes worth of questions. I'm going to let you stand up and stretch, and we're going to get straight into our next panel discussion, because we also have a cocktail party and some drinks for you a little bit later as well. It's been a long day, and we've still got one more to get through. So lights are up. I'm going to start on that side. Okay. Taste, given that you're paying for this, I will get to you. Okay. Okay, where are the mics, guys? Come. There you go.
Yes, Matot. Good day, gents. All right, this goes to Unathi. All right, from you talk about high schools, all right? So how do you mentor them, moderate them? Because some of the learners, when they get to high schools, they have this fever of being into high school. So how do you moderate them to be until varsity level? How do you monitor that they achieve? Number one.
Just one question. This is not a press conference, okay?
Okay, Jabu, this is a suggestion, all
No,
right?
seriously,
Because-
I need to move on.
All right.
That's it, thank you. Then a question in the middle here, and then can we get the mic to Taste, because otherwise he's not going to pay me. So let's get the answer to that question.
So we identify learners from as early as grade 8, and through our technology platform, we, for one, have a mentor for them, and we have a guidance. So from grade 8, we have someone who is supporting them, making those decisions when they are in grade 9 for choosing the correct subjects that are aligned to their interests and their talent. So from as early as that stage, you have someone who is guiding them, who is allocated based on the aspirations of that learner.
But is it sustainable? I think that's your question. Is this person walking the walk with them?
Yes.
Hopefully with shoes. Okay.
Yes, so the person is this. So let me just make a typical example of a learner who's now at UCT, who was introduced to our platform in grade 10. So Ekona were introduced to Gradesmatch in grade 10, started in January, allocated a mentor, right? Selected the correct subjects because her aspiration was, or still is, to become a chartered accountant. So one, we have someone who selects the correct subjects, not doing mathematics literacy when we know that her aspiration is to become a chartered accountant, and to become a chartered accountant, you need mathematics core. So this year, right, so she matriculated last year, 2016. This year, she's registered at the University of Cape Town. With that journey of 3 years with a mentor, we managed to select the correct program, which is normally a failure completely when you do not have someone who's holding you with a hand. Choosing the correct program with the correct APS point system guidance as well. So it is sustainable. We have people who have walked the journey before who are taking care of all those learners as well.
And that's a good answer.
All right.
Where's the mic? Where's the
It's
mic?
here.
Way
Right at
in
the
the cheap
back.
seats at the back there. Okay.
Yes.
All right.
Evening, everyone. One question I would like to ask, based on observation, as somebody who's also under 30 and obviously a high dreamer, I'd like to ask, in pursuit of passion, how important is education? Because I've seen that a lot of talk around mentorship and coaching eliminates the importance of education. And I've seen that a lot of young people wake up and say, okay, I have a dream, I want to run this business. But without the academics of running a business, 2 years down the line, they are nobody.
Good
So-
question. Crashes and burns. Thank you. Anybody want to pick that up? Sorry, I am, once we've got the question, we're going to move on. I think you made your point. Who's going to answer that? You've had a chance, so you want to go.
First and foremost, I'm a varsity dropout. I dropped out within my first year of studying. And the reason why I dropped out is because my mother could not afford the school fees for me to continue further. At that point in time, I could have sat and be like, I even approached the university saying, listen, I don't have money to continue, please help me out. They told me they couldn't help me at all. And I could have sat there and I could have said, oh, the education system failed me, I should give up. But I was like, there's something powerful called the internet. And as South Africans, we think that education For it to be valid, you actually physically have to go to school and sit in class. And we have the best resource in the world, and that is the internet. And my company is built on the knowledge I've learned online. And even to today, I don't have any formal degree, but every single day I take the time to equip myself by researching and researching and researching. So I think for me personally is that education is very, very important, but education doesn't mean that you have to physically go to school and hold a degree for you to be successful. You can empower yourself.
Sia, you know what you need to do one day? When you are ready, you must make a huge endowment to that university. And they must name a wing after you.
I'm a lecturer there now.
That's sweet revenge. Sweet revenge. Taste, do you want to go? Have you got the mic?
Yeah.
Before you go, sorry, I just need to. I want to run the kind of the back end of the conference from the stage. Sound guys, do you have more microphones for our next guys? Or are they being mic'd up at the moment? We can do that. So we can do a very quick segue from one to the other. We don't need to pause. I'm seeing 5 thumbs up. That's great. Taste, off you go.
My question is just to Jabulane. It's very well and it's very nice what you're doing at this stage. I do applaud that. But from the franchise co side as well, we do take this factor very seriously, especially giving back to our communities, surrounding communities. And you can ask any administrator that works together with us. The schools in the local locations as well are very dear to us as well. So if you can maybe just give me an indication, what do you guys pay for a pair of shoes at this stage?
Can you repeat the question?
What do you guys pay for a pair of shoes?
What do we pay for a pair of shoes? We have a partnership with a company based in Durban, which is Palm Footwear. I was there cutting a dealership this year, February. I flew to Durban for the first time. It was an inspiration. So I told them one thing, is I give you free marketing, like you give me a pair of school shoes. Because one thing I told them, they know how, because they are based near the Mlazi. So I told them, okay, you give me 50% off. Like the pair when you buy it, trust is costing like 89 rand to 120. Student prints costing like.
Jabulane, what does a pair of shoes cost?
Cost. Okay, I'm just saying all the.
I know you're giving us a lot of context.
Okay.
I think I know where this is going.
Okay.
And you need to see the opportunity.
Okay.
What does a pair of shoes cost?
It cost us from 89 rand to 120.
Let's call it 100 rand.
Yes, it's
Okay.
trustees.
Taste, back to you.
All right, so we're going to commit to buy you 1,000 pair of shoes at this time.
Oh, that's great. Thank you very much, sir.
Okay. There you go.
Yes, I have achieved my first goal for this year.
You've achieved your first, that's fantastic.
Yes.
But I hope you've learned a lesson. When a person asks the price, tell them the price.
Yes.
Don't give the background. Okay, well done. Okay, folks, I'm going to take one more question here. One, and then, is there anybody on that side? One, and then 2, and then I'm going to get our next panel up. Folks, seriously, are you guys all around?
Yes.
We are, afterwards, feel free to crowdsource them. Okay. I think that's the right word. Probably not. Okay.
Good afternoon,
There we go.
everybody. My name is Beyile Mashiachom. Weza, please do that Casa Light ad for us, please. Please, Weza.
I don't know if the franchise co-guys would like, Castle is very, over 18 vibes. I'll do something else, though.
Stand up.
I'll
Don't
do
do
one
that.
that's a little more inspirational. Something like this.
Stand in the middle. In the middle.
This
There we go.
is the richest square mile in Africa, the powerhouse of its economy. But it didn't start that way. It started as an answer to a question ordinary people kept on asking. Do you know how to grow my money for the day I no longer work, or for that day when I'm no longer around? It started with a place we built to be that answer. A place we built with more than just concrete and glass. A place we built with knowledge. Knowledge that got stuck in and built a way to grow people's money every day in a way no one had thought possible. This became the richest square mile in Africa and the powerhouse of its economy. The day knowledge rolled up its sleeves. Liberty, the advantage of knowing. Thank you.
Okay. Weza. Just go now. Just go.
I think you should.
Okay, folks, I'm going to wrap this up very quickly. I said, how many more? Shh. Settle yourselves. Settle. I shall get to you. Over there. There we go. He's not doing any more ads.
Hello, my question is for Wenza.
Yeah.
My name is Sibongile from Katlehong. I was once a radio presenter in a community radio in Mpumalanga. So I would like to go back and pursue that dream because I have a passion. So I would like to know if you can be able to assist, not just you, but maybe your company or, yes, just an advice, what can I do to go back there? Thank you.
All right. First of all, it's really admirable that you are trying to pursue a passion. You see, I think that's one of the most important things is that we live our life with passion, one way or the other. They say the most successful man is one that wakes up in the morning, sleeps at night, and in between he gets to do what he loves. And if that's not what you're doing, what you love, then your life won't even feel like it's tasting like something. Your life needs to taste like something, you know? So I do have a workshop, a radio presenting workshop that I could probably assist you with, and I'll do that for you free of charge.
Nice
Yeah.
Can I add to that? I'm not giving you anything. I have spent most of my broadcasting career in radio. Let me tell you, and I've hired many people and many famous names on radio. I'm proud to say I hired them. Yeah. What you need to do, pester power. You have to keep knocking on the door. Don't stop. And if you've done it 10 times and you get rebuffed, do it 11. Because most of the people that are well-known and have succeeded in radio and television have got the thickest skins because they will not give up. That's what you need to do. Don't tell us that you've got the passion. I accept that. What you need to go and do from tonight, okay? Identify and go knock those doors down because other people are doing the same thing.
This is how you do it. Here's my card. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Fantastic.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you have cards? Go make some cards. Seriously. Pester power, it's important. I literally don't want your card. No, I do. Folks, I'm going to, one more. So one more? Yeah, one more? One more bonus question. I'm not from people have you asked a question before?
Hi, guys. Just bringing it back to the theme of, I guess, this convention. With you guys being very young and running businesses, how do you select your teams?
Let's go through and we'll take those as your closing remarks. Cool. Wesley, you've spoken far too much. You're going last. Let's start with Unathi.
All right. So from our side, our team was formed already at university. So one, we were all in the same class, so we did honors in computer sciences, information systems already. But what we look for, though, when now we hiring people is, are you passionate about making a difference in the education space? That's all that we're looking for. Do you have the passion? But the rest of the team has the formal qualification, formal schooling background. But one thing that we really look for, are you passionate about making a difference in the education space?
Jabulane, thank you. Unathi, thank you. Jabulane?
How do I select my team? I select with the people I grew up with, the people who have the same vision. When I share the vision, they act on it. Is how I select my team, and people are committed to the projects which I do.
What's the lesson here, everybody? It's the network you create at an early age. I bet you if you ask lots of other successful people, they will tell you that. That is valuable. Write it down.
One thing that I've also learned, very importantly in my 6 years, I've had a lot of people who work with my companies in Durban and Johannesburg, and you have to use wisdom. A lot of people will say great things in an interview, and it's only when you see them actually working, you really get to see their true performance. As well as one thing is, when you have people starting to work for your company, be very wise how much of information you share. Because what can really happen, and I've had it a few times, people came on board, took our immediate strategy documents and started their own companies. So espionage is very real, and in the business world, these are the things you must be aware and wise of. But most importantly, have an open door policy as well. You have to have a bit of a balance in between.
Okay, fair enough. Good answer.
In my company, I only hire black women because I believe there's no one who has struggled more than the black woman. So in my company, that's who I hire. even with those women that I hire, it's very important that they are entrepreneurs. I'm not here to keep people. I see my company as an academy of excellence, and I tell my employees that when you leave here, you must become a CEO of your own company. So that's who I hire.
And Wes, I'll give the final word to you on this one.
Great.
If our next lot of panel members can start getting ready, please, I'm going to call you up. Okay?
I've always heard that the rate at which your company will grow is determined largely by the quality of the person that you let in through the front door. So it's important for me to find people who are really passionate, as has been said already, but people who are even willing to do this for free. Maybe they've already even done this for free in some capacity for themselves. And those are the type of people that are driven. And in fact, I live by the policy that Richard Branson lives by. You know, you treat your people so good that, well, first of all, you build them up so much so that they're great enough to leave and start something on their own. But then you treat them so good that they want to stay.
Folks, thank you very much indeed.
Thank you.